Well, hello everyone. Today is Friday, I think. I don't know. Do you ever get to that stage in your life where you don't know what day of the week it is because you never have to leave the house, like to take your kids to school or to actually get up and go to work somewhere? Yeah, now that Jenna's finished with regular school and has her own car and can drive herself, and I'm not taxi mom anymore, I have a hard time keeping track of what day of the week it is. I know that just sounds weird, but what can I say? So, I have had a very odd week. In my opinion, I haven't gotten much accomplished. I've had of course, my day job, even though I work from home, to keep up with. I have been obviously looking on Amazon for display pieces, and I don't know, I've just been like really distracted. Like yesterday, I got up, I had breakfast, I started to do my work, I got everything I needed to printed and started to cut them out, and then it's like my eyeballs are rolling in the back of my head. I'm like, I gotta go take a nap. I was just like exhausted. The heat is killing me. Like, I have the air on here in the house and I still feel like I'm condensating. It's just hot. And if you step outside, the air is just so thick with the humidity. It's like you can't even, or I don't even want to go outside. It's terrible. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you the few things that I did manage to make. And then we're going to try and put together this display, because my first display piece showed up and I have an idea for it. I'm a little hesitant of sharing it this soon, but what the heck, doesn't matter, because I don't know if it's going to work right or not, but the only way to find out is to put it together and test it out. So that's what we're going to do. But I bought this pattern pack on Etsy, and it has like 6 or 7 different little tiny small dinosaurs in it. And I attempted 2 of the patterns. One of them, I'm not sure what it is because they call it a mini Joey, and I'm like, just looking at it, I can't really tell what it is. But the main reason I got it was for the Triceratops. I know there's that free one, but I liked how this one looked in her display images. So I tried to make one, and he turned out looking kind of weird. And this was sewing it, like embroidering the 3 horns on and doing it the way she showed in the pattern. And I'm like, that just doesn't look right. And something's off. It just, I don't know. It didn't look right. So I was like, I'm famous for this. I can try a pattern once and it doesn't look right. But when I try it a second time, it comes out really nice. So I did it a second time. Not even realizing yet that, well, I knew I didn't like this part, but not even realizing that I made a mistake somewhere through here. So I just reversed the colors and I did it light blue with the darker blue frill, but I sewed on going vertically instead of horizontally with the horns, and I like that a whole lot better. And his shape is much, much better. So, I mean, see the difference in the faces? Like, I like this face way better than this face, but look at the difference in the body shapes. That's why I know I messed up somewhere in here. I probably got distracted, did an extra row. I don't know. But basically, he's no-sew. the only thing you're sewing on are the, what do you call it? The horns. So I like this one. This one's successful. This one will go in the misfit pile that will never end up at a show. Then I tried, oh, this was the second dinosaur that was in that pack of, I think it was 6 for $8. I think it's 6 of them. Now he turned out okay, except it does tell you when you stuff the neck to stuff it lightly, and I think I stuffed it a little too much because he just falls over. But this one, I didn't do a second one, I just did the one. Little less stuffing in the neck, and I think he'll stand up just fine. Now this one does have a tiny little bit of sewing to it. You have to pull the neck back and sew to the body to get it to come upwards instead of, otherwise it sticks straight out looking weird. So, but yeah, I'd do this one again, less stuffing and, you know, just that tiny little bit of sewing. But, you know, this would be a nice, inexpensive, cheap item. It was not that difficult to make. It did not take me that long. And just a stuffing issue on this one. Then I purchased another pattern. And it was funny because when I was doing this one, well, it wasn't funny. It's kind of funny now, but at the time, okay, not funny, haha, funny, strange. I'm sitting here and I'm doing my work, and I had to make the dreaded cupcake toppers because in my button shop, I do party supplies, mostly gender reveal parties, but I do have some other party supplies. And I think it was Monday, I had a massive amount of cupcake toppers to make. Like I had 8 orders that were just cupcake toppers and only 1 order that was actually buttons. And the cupcake toppers either come in 12 or 24, and some of these orders were like 2 sets of 24, so it'd be 48. It was a few hundred cupcake toppers. So I was to the point where I could actually attach the image to the scallop, and we had a storm come through and the power went out. So now I'm at a dead stop because I need to see what I'm doing. I have to get the images on straight. I'm like super, super picky about that. It has to be right or I won't send it out. And I dislike making the cupcake toppers so much that I don't want to have to redo it. So I just sat it down and I said, well, let me go out and sit on the porch. Big mistake. So humid. And then of course there's a lot of moisture in the air from the storm. I mean, it was loud. The thunder was so loud. It was just like, I didn't see any lightning, but the thunder, just the clapping, just like a couple times I almost jumped out of my skin. It was so loud. So I had already purchased and printed this one pattern for the little aliens. Now, he looks okay. It gives you an option, like you can give it arms or not, and I think it looks cuter, my personal opinion, without the arms. But what I noticed with working with the Parfait is it does not care for moisture. So it was difficult to like pull the yarn through the stitches. Like I really struggled with this, waiting for the power to come back on so I could finish working. So when I finished this, I put the crochet away. I was like, I can't do it. Not with this kind of yarn, not out there in all that moisture. So later on Monday, when the power was back on and I was finished doing my work, I said, well, let me try that pattern again. And this time I did the alien head in a blue. Now, I don't know if you can like see the difference, like in the shape of this versus the shape of this one, because of, it was just so tight because of the moisture in the air. But I liked how these turned out. Oh, and it's like, on Amazon, I'm looking at the displays, and a lot of the displays are the cupcake stands, and they have this one display that is cardboard, but it's a like rocket ship. And I thought, how cool would that be to get one of those? And it's only $10, so it's not like a big expense. But, you know, get the spaceship, have the little alien guys and my astronauts with them. I think that would look really cool for a display setup. So I've added that to my wish list so I can think about it. You know, I just got to think about it. So I did these two. This one probably won't make it because he just doesn't look right to me. This one is okay. So I'll be making more of these for sure. And then I bought another pattern for a possum, because with the free pattern that everyone's using on the possum, mine don't look right to me. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it again, but doing the nose a little differently on that free pattern. So I bought this possum pattern from Teresa's Crochet Shop on Etsy. And because I don't have any white, I had to use a cream color. And you know how with every single yarn, there's always that one or those few that are a different thickness than all the other colors. Well, the cream is like that with the Chunky Parfait, or Parfait Chunky, whatever it's called. So I think his little face is a little bit bigger than it's supposed to be. But this is the possum. I just thought it was the cutest little thing in the picture. And I wish I had more of that ballet pink, because this pink's just a little too pale. And maybe a darker gray. But I think this part is a little bigger than what it would have been if this yarn was the same size as this yarn. But I just thought this little possum was the cutest thing. He's got his long little tail, his little feet. And there is a lot of sewing. You have to sew the head to the body. You have to sew the arms to the body. You have to sew the feet and the tail and the ears to the body. So, but he's cute. I don't care. He's cute. And then I revisited like one of the first patterns I bought. The first two patterns I bought were the Maple Chicken and this mini sunflower turtle. And I think I told you guys, I tried the turtle and it just didn't work out. And I ended up giving it to Toby as a cat toy, because I tried it with acrylic yarn at first so that I didn't waste my limited supply of the plushie yarn at the time. So I went back and revisited this. Now I made a couple of changes on like how the petals were done. At the tip of the petal, I added a little picot to give it a point. That's the only thing that I did different in this pattern. So I think this time it turned out really nice. Now what I noticed that's different about this pattern from, I think it's Crochet with Jenna. And she has a free one. I think that's who it is. The back feet are smaller than the front feet by 1 round. Everything is no-sew except for the head. The head you do sew on, but if I wouldn't have got his little, he's kind of cockeyed looking at you. You sew the head on, but then it's not floppy like the other ones. So I like how this one turned out. So I'll be making some more of these. And if I wanted to, I could just, leave off the little sunflower part and just make it look like a regular turtle. So, but yeah, I think I like how this one turned out. I mean, no-sew patterns are great, but sometimes you gotta sew on some parts to make them look cute. And I did another Maple Chicken because I seem to do better the second time around. So here she is in all her glory. Rather than using the safety eyes, I just used, stitched them on. And I think my comb turned out a whole lot better this time. Just all the way around, I think it turned out better, even though this is like super simple, like the easiest pattern you can ask for. I mean, this lady was brilliant. She makes this super simple pattern, and she's selling a ton of these patterns. I mean, they're so easy and they're so cute. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? But yeah, so these are cute. So chickens are a definite one that I think I'm going to do with my market because I'm in a rural area. And even though this market's going to be like in town, it's not like a big town like being in Tampa or Orlando or someplace like that. It's still pretty much a rural area, and everybody's got chickens. I have chickens. People have their goats and they have their cows. And I mean, you drive around, there's all kinds of things. You never know what you might see running down the side of the road. So chickens will definitely be at my market. Then I tried another free pattern off of Instagram for a baby axolotl. And this is how it turns out. Really, really cute when you use the Premier Parfait Chunky. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 5 inches, 4 or 5 inches. It is really cute. So what I plan on doing with this, I'm going to make these into little bag charms. I think it's too big for a keychain, but to hang off of a backpack or something like that for the kids, I think would be really cute. So if you can't tell because of the lighting, this is purple. It's a light purple and a darker purple. And then I said, okay, how big will it be if I use the Bernat Blanket? So I got some other colors of the Bernat Blanket, and because my sister-in-law made a special order, she needed a manatee by yesterday, and she also has pre-ordered for up-and-coming Christmas. She wants an astronaut, and she wants an octopus that she can tie to a baby carrier because they have their first granddaughter is going to be born at the end of this month. So I'm showing her all kinds of colors, and of course the color was the Bernat Blanket. She likes more muted colors, and the Bernat Blanket is definitely muted. So I'm ordering that, and I'm like, well, I might as well get some other colors because the chicken that's done with the Bernat Speckle, I think it's called. And there's a couple of things that just really look good with the Bernat Blanket. But for the most part, I like how this yarn looks. So I redid that same baby axolotl in the Parfait, and this one is the tweed color and a light blue. So just so that you can see the difference in sizes, same exact pattern, same amount of stitches. So you could take this little bitty pattern, you do it in the Parfait Chunky, and you got some little, I think they call them bag charms. Or, it could be just, this is like perfect size if you don't use the safety eyes. Perfect size for a little one to, fit in their hand. And then you have this size. So I have 2 different axolotl patterns that I like, that I will be definitely making for my market. I'm saying definitely now, but I reserve the right to change my mind. So these were cute, and these were pretty quick other than the distractions. So I don't know how long it actually took me to do it. Was it 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 10 minutes? I don't know, because I get interrupted all the time. I can't just sit and make one without something interrupting. Usually Toby, but you know, there are other interruptions in life. So these two I made. Then I tried this other free pattern on Instagram. And I just want to say one thing. Not all free patterns are worth it. So this one was for a big mushroom boy. And like I started it one night. I got the top part of it finished. Came back the next day when I finished with my work and my nap and everything else. And did the bottom part. And then this morning, because you have to sew on the two little nubby arms and two little nubby legs, sewed them on. So I pulled the posting back up so that I can see like the placement of the arms and the legs. And I'm like, this top is not the same as it's showing in the picture. So I have this giant mushroom boy that looks like he's wearing a sun hat that's coming down in his eyes. But in the picture that it shows, it looks more like this, you know, it's like curled up. So I went back and looked at the pattern. I'm like, did I skip a step or something? No, I didn't. So, I don't know. I think he looks funny. And this was a lot of stitches, you know. So yeah, I won't make this one, not this pattern of the mushroom boy again. It's just really, really big. And uninteresting in my opinion. Like, he's too big to be cute, I guess. I don't know. So then when my Bernat Blanket yarn order came in, unfortunately, I thought I had found a green. And I think it would work for the pickles, but I would have to change up my pattern a little bit on the pickles to use it because this is so thick. But I said, well, let me do one of those leggy frogs, but I want to make it look different. And I was successful in making it look different. But this thing is so freaky looking that I don't think I would ever do it again. So just hold your breath. I was trying to do the eyes different, and it just looks freaky. Oh, I don't know. And plus, I gave him a little pot belly. And I think the little pot belly would be okay. But those eyes, no way. He's, I think he's going in the reject pile too. So, yeah, so much for my bright idea. So I ordered in, gosh, I feel like all I'm doing is spending money. So I ordered in my keychain or charm clips and the little ball chains to match the colors. The only thing I forgot was the jump ring. Some, like for the keychains, I think it needs to be on a jump ring, but the, what do you call it? The bag charms, you could probably just run that chain through. I don't know, I have to try it. So I did get these in, and I have this display thing sitting on my table in like a million pieces that we're going to try and put together. So let's do that, and then I'll show you why I wanted this particular display. let's see if we can put this thing together. Well, it says it's easy assembly, but I'm not so sure. There's a lot of pieces here. Okay, so we're running into our first problem. On this piece, these two boards are just a little bit thicker than these, so it doesn't fit into the little groove. Can't tell from the picture what direction this board faces. So that's one. Why is everything you order these days assembly required? I'm like, come on. Okay, so we had success. That was super stressful. I had to get up and walk away from it. Toby has come in to join me now. That there was one part on the top basket where the board was too thick for this bottom piece to slide into the grooves. And I went to get my sander that I no longer have. We won't mention any names onto where that went, but he knows who he is. So I couldn't sand it down. So I got out this little razor knife and carved out the pieces. Now I have a mess on my desk now to make it fit. Other than that, it was fairly easy to assemble. I got stuff all over me. When I got up and walked away from it, I went outside because I gotta catch my breath. I was so frustrated. So I went outside and my yarn order came in, one of them. And what I did is I decided, since I was having a hard time getting the Parfait, I was gonna try the Premier Basics Chenille. And so that came in. I opened that box and it is a lot like the, as far as the feel goes, as the Bernat Blanket, but it is much, much thinner. It says that it's a 6. We'll see how it works up. I'm not sure that I would order this kind again. I don't know yet until I try it. But also in my mailbox, I had an order from Mary Maxim that was on back order that had some of the Parfait green in it, which I need green. I noticed a lot of the things that I want to make are going to need green. And I also noticed that a lot of the things that I want to make, I use a lot of the gray colors, and I'm going to have to order some more gray. All this yarn, I don't know where I'm going to put it. And then I got an email notification that the order that I had that was on back order from Hirschner's, that the yarn was not supposed to be in until August 28th, they've shipped it. It's like, really? So I'm getting a lot of yarn and not necessarily all the different colors that I need. I know I'm not getting any gray, and I need gray, but I should end up with plenty of greens, and I'll be using a lot of the green. So the reason I wanted this particular display stand, hopefully you can see it, it's actually a vegetable bin basket, whatever you want to call it. But I wanted it for my pickles. Pickles can go in one. My potatoes. And my avocados. Now I'm not sure exactly in which order yet that I'll place them in this basket, but I was so cool because I found these tags on Etsy, and the lady that runs the shop, it's Laser Llama, I think. I will link it down below. Her name is Maddie, and she already had pickle tags, and she had some potato tags, and I was like, oh, how cool is that? So, like, there's, I want to say there's 6 or 7 different sayings, but like the pickle, this one says, you're kind of a big deal, or big dill, this particular one. And I thought that that really added to the pickle. The potato, it says, this particular tag says, you're one hot potato. And then I requested that she make, and gave her a few sayings to make some for avocados. Now, you know, because you have the positive potato, the emotional support pickle, I guess you could call it that. And then there's the awesome avocado. So I asked her, I wanted them the same shape and size as this one on the potato, because I was going to do the avocados basically the same shape as the potato. So she made that set for me. And then, but she made to have up for sale round ones where it'd be round like the pit. So there's these. So then I was like, I don't have a pattern like that. And I did a Google search and came across some, you know, where it's a cut open avocado, but like the pit part was separate. It was like a ball. There was one that was done with double crochets, and I didn't trust it. So I had to like come up with my own thing to make an avocado. And I think I did pretty decent. The little circle part I wanted bigger. So I started off with the brown, and then I stitched it on. Now the first time I stitched it on, I used the same brown, but then it hid the little patch. So then I just went back with some, cut that out and went back with some acrylic and stitched it on with the acrylic yarn. And then with that being a different color, I just thought it made it pop out. Now originally I was not going to put a little mouth on this, but it looked like really weird and sad without a mouth. But as soon as I added the mouth to it, it was like a game changer for the avocado. So that was my idea for this basket, because it's a vegetable stand. And like I said, I'm not sure in what order I will do it, because I really don't know how they will sell. I might do avocados, potatoes, pickles on the bottom because there's more space. I can fit more pickles in it. I might just, you know, line them up and do it like a waterfall. Nah, needs to be on separate shelves. So this potato was done using the Parfait Chunky. And I think it's a cute size. I showed you, let me see if I can find it. So this was the potato in the Bernat, and it's a little bit bigger. This one, I did it with arms, so I could bring the arms over, I guess, and have it hold that little tag. But the tag, I'm not sure. Let me grab a tag. So I was thinking the tag might be a little bit too small with the arms. Trying to do it. Maybe not. That might be okay on that with this size. You know, and then this is a little bigger, so I could charge a little more for it. I could do the two sizes and have different price points. Or I could leave off the arms, which I think I probably would, and just stitch it on like I did this one, where it looks like it has little hands coming out and holding it. And I think that'd be okay on that size, don't you think? Yeah, I think that'd be okay. So, but that was my idea for this rack. Having, here, let me add another pickle to this. Different color pickle. See, now that one doesn't have a tag. I mean, I could go back and add a tag to it if I wanted to. But yeah, that was my idea for this display rack. So that was pretty cool. And this tag says, "You are my best spud." So have that right on his little belly. You're my best spud. So that was my idea. So this is something that is definitely going to go with me to market. The emotional support pickle, the positive potato, and the awesome avocado, which Adrian and one other person had, when I showed one of the potatoes, they had said, "Oh, if you did it in green, it would be an awesome avocado." And I was like, that is a great idea. So that's where we're at with that. I did order 2 other displays from Amazon, but they haven't arrived yet. I really like the look of the wood, but one of the displays I ordered, it was because I got 3 for the price, and they're kind of small, but they're like cupcake display stands, and I figured I can waterfall those by putting like a box behind, have one in front on the table, and then put a box behind the other one to raise it up to make it look like it's 6 steps. But it came with 3 for like $30-something, but I haven't gotten it yet, so I'm not sure of the exact size, the degree of difficulty of putting it together. This is definitely one that will stay assembled, because there is no way that I could go through that frustration on setup time. This took me about 45 minutes to set up, but I had to walk away from it because I was very frustrated. You know, what do you do? So that's one thing off my list that needs to be completed. And I had to get a new computer. All these expenses. But my computer has been acting up for months. I've had it for like, I got it in 2018. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So it's 6 years old. And when I turn it off and then turn it back on, it takes probably 20 minutes to start up. And once it gets started, it does, everything is fine until it's time to tell it to print something. And I print a lot because of my button business. I print a lot. I have burnt up so many printers in the last 12 years, like you wouldn't believe how many printers I've gone through. But then it's like you tell it to print, and then you wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, and finally it prints. And I know it's not the printer, because anything else, like if I download a pattern, a PDF file, and I open it up and it's like in that PDF, Adobe PDF thing, and I tell it to print, it goes to print right away. It's just my other files, when I have to go through my editing program, and it could be that the program's just too old, that it's not updated. But when I have to go through that editing program, it's like takes forever. So that arrived, and I waited to order it for a couple reasons. One, I didn't know what kind I wanted. I was thinking maybe I'll get a Mac this time. But it's so different from a regular computer. But I thought the Mac would be nice because then my phone could link to it and like I could airdrop everything to it and it wouldn't be a big deal. But I ended up getting a regular computer, a Windows computer. They were on sale, $200 off, and I caught it on Florida's tax-free week for back to school. And computers and all the papers, you know, all your school supplies are included. So I got $200 off the price of the computer, and I saved like $65 in sales tax. Plus I got free shipping. It was pretty awesome. Well, that came the other day, and I've been hesitating because I have to transfer all the files over onto the external hard drive and then set that up and get everything. It's a project to hook up another computer because you gotta, the printer, well, both printers, because I got the label printer and the regular printer, and then anything else, everything else that goes along with it. It has to do all its updates. You gotta hook it up to your internet. It is a process, and that is something else that I have to do. But this is one thing off the list. It is assembled. I wanted to see how it would look with my little dudes in it. And I could probably, if somebody else assembled it for me, I could probably use a couple of these. But because it was like the vegetable thing, the fruit and vegetable thing, I had to have this for the pickles, the potatoes, and the avocados. I just had to have it. Okay, so that's all I have for you on this fine Friday, and I thank you very much for joining me today. And I can see you over here in this next video if you're ready for another one.